Hi everybody, it's Diana with StampingWithDi.com. Welcome to another fun week of videos. Today is Mimeograph Monday with a twist, and my name is Diana. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. So I go live on Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays. And now when I say live, sometimes I'm really taping live, and then sometimes I've actually pre-taped and then I'm watching live. So I'm here either way. Today I'm off to the side watching live with you, so if you have any questions, just type them in the chat. You do have to make sure that you're signed in with your YouTube, otherwise I think then it just makes you leave comments in the bottom. But if you have any questions, ask over there, and then I can just type and answer you if you do have any questions. So Mimeograph Monday with a twist, if you are new, basically means I'm going to be making a project, card, whatever it ends up being, out of one of the catalogs, one of the current catalogs. And then I will make a second project with a twist on that. And so this has been a very popular series, and I love everybody's comments, and I also love it when you suggest a project out of one of the catalogs, like, oh, I would love to see you make this, and blah blah blah. So make sure you let me know, and then if I have that stamp set, then I totally can. So I'm using the Potted Geraniums today, and I had not even inked those up, and I can't believe it. We had geraniums in the backyard in some pots for a while. They looked beautiful, and then it was like they just started going really bad. So I googled it, and they're like, they're either getting too much water or not enough water. And I thought, well, that didn't answer my question at all. So they finally just died. So I will not be getting geraniums in the future. I'll just stamp with them, because then I can make them be beautiful all the time. So that's what I'm going to be using. So I hope you will say hi. Let me know where you're viewing from. If you're new, let me know that as well. If you've been here before, welcome back. We have such a fun little community in the chat room that is growing every week, and I love that. So I would love to know where you're viewing from. Okay, so I'm going to stop blabbing. I'm going to turn my camera. So just make sure you close your eyes just for a second while I spin so you don't get seasick. All right. All right, let's see. Okay, so that looks good. So it's a new month, which means there's a new host code. So I'm going to go over a few things before we get started. So there's a new host code. So if you are not in one of my stamp clubs, please use this code if you are ordering in my store for the month of October, if you are ordering less than $150 before tax and shipping, because then that's how I give away my free goodies and guts each month, by using that hostess code. But if you are ordering over $150 before tax and shipping, don't use my code, because then you will get the hostess benefits. All right. Also, starting October the 4th, tomorrow, we have free shipping. Now, free shipping is on orders of $75 before tax and shipping or more. So keep an eye on that total, when you're ordering. So super good. I also have new goodies and guts this month, and I will be coming back tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays 146 and show you how to put your guts packs together. But the goodies are the iridescent pearls basic jewels. So when you order 75 in the month of October, you'll be able to pick the goodies or the guts that I will show you tomorrow. So so you might want to wait till the 4th if you're ordering more than 75. Also starting tomorrow is a new starter kit. So if you have been thinking about, you know what, I order every month, I might as well get that as a discount. That was me over 23 years ago. I signed up for the discount as well. Starting on the 4th, you'll actually get an extra $30. So you'll get $155 worth of your choice of products for only $99 in tax. Stampin' Up! Actually pays the shipping on the starter kit. So I would love to have you join my team. I have some welcome packets all ready to go. So hopefully you want to give it a shot. You're not out anything if you get your kit and you go, oh, you know, maybe I don't want to be a demonstrator, I just want the discount, that's totally fine. You don't have to be doing videos or having workshops or anything just to get the discount. You totally don't. Okay, so let's get to why you're here. I am going to be doing, where's my catalog? We are going to be doing the, gotta get to the right page, the Potted Geraniums Bundle. So this is right here. This would be a great one to grab tomorrow for the free shipping. The bundle is $51.25, so then you would have to go up a little bit more. But you know, maybe you'll see something today in my demonstration that you go, oh, I need that or whatever. So I have my little recipe sheet, and this is the card that we're going to be doing here. And oh, now it does, these dies are small enough that you can use the mini embossing or cut oh my gosh, cut and emboss, but I'm going to use the big one just because I have it on my desk. So but whenever you see this little mini, it means that these dies are small enough that you can use the mini. Now here is the mini, so you can see the difference. So here's the mini. Let me get this off my desk. I'm just going to use the big one. So here's the mini. Look how little it is. And here's the mama. So see, there's quite a bit of difference. So if you don't have a lot of room on your desk, the mini might be the way to go, and then it just pops open, you know, when you're going to use it, just like the big one. It's just like they washed the mama one and it shrunk. All right, so let's see here. So what do we need? We need, here's my card stuff. So this is the Old Olive. These are the colors we're using. So mint macaron and basic white are the card pieces. So we want our card base. So that's the mint macaron. Then I have some pieces that I can stamp and die cut out. This is going to go on here. This is for the inside, just so that I also don't confuse myself with what I'm doing. All right, so let's bring these pieces over. This is a photopolymer stamp set, so I'm going to use my handy dandy little whatchamacallit. I swear I should have wrote like what it's actually called. It's the foam mat. All right, let's see what we're using. We are using the Potted Geraniums. This is so amazing, and like I said, I had some of these in my yard. They looked gorgeous while they were alive. Now they're just empty pots of dirt. Okay, so this is a matching die, so I need this. And where are my colors? Now usually I do my die cutting earlier, and I thought, you know what, today, just in case you've never seen, you know, die cutting, I'm going to do it on camera. All right, so we're going to use Sweet Sorbet, Old Olive, and Basic Gray. Now this is the card from the catalog, is the first one. All right, so let's bring my things over. Now this first card, they did some stamping off, so they are getting that two-step stamping look with just one ink pad. So we want Old Olive, and I also want a grid sheet because we have to stamp off. So I need somewhere to put my ink. So I forgot about that. All right, so hold on a second. All right, back to the Old Olive. So this one is Old Olive, and that's the solid, like the detail leaves. Then it has this piece, which is kind of the solid-y look, which is going to color in those leaves. Now, we're going to stamp an Old Olive again, but we're going to stamp it off and take off some of that Old Olive color so that when we stamp over, and I found it easier to do the detail one first and the solid one after. So now we have two different looks with one ink pad. Then I want to do the little, this little stick thing, and that's in the Basic Gray. Okay. And then let's bring this over for our flowers. Now the flowers are the same thing. We're stamping off. So let me get my solid one and my detail one. All right, so the detail one I'm going to do first. So we're going to go Sweet Sorbet. And this just has all the nooks and crannies and stuff. So that's what I mean by detail. Because it might not look like a lot of detail right now. But when you put that solid over top of it. All right, so that's Sweet Sorbet. Now we're going to do the same thing that we did for the old olive one. So I'm inking up with the Sweet Sorbet. Then stamp it off to get that off. And then again, you're just going to look through that block and line up your flowers. And now you've got your flowers that look like two different ink pads, but it's just because you stamped that one off, and I'm getting some on the edge, so I need to be careful. All right. So I like the photopolymer so you can see right through it. Stamp off, and now when you do this, you won't have a camera right above your head, or maybe you will. All right, very good. If I go too far over, then you can see my hair. All right, so I'm going to clean these really quickly because I want them clean for when I do the twist card. Okay, so now let's move this aside. So it will take, I find it's going to take me a little bit longer because I am doing the die cutting, because I need to make some space. All right, we need to make room for that. So I'm going to just cut this apart like that. This one's good. All right, so let's bring our machine over. Okay. And this is another reason why I usually don't do it on the video, because it takes up a lot of space on my desk, because I have all this other stuff out that I would have elsewhere, and the camera I only have it taking so much room, so you can see what's going on. All right, so we have plate 1, we need plate 2, right, and then number 3, and then a number 3 again. So let's put this on here, scooch it up there. We need our dies. So we have, this has just got some fun dies. So we need this one, we need this one, we need this one, and this one. Put that back in there. All right, now I'm also going to use this Post-it tape just to kind of hold my dies in place so they don't wiggle around. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do, so I just kind of like to make it definitely not moving. All right, and then this one. Get on there, you. And then I also want to do one of the flowers. Because we're going to have to do the flowers 3 times. So I just need to scoot that a little bit. I'm going to trim this a little bit more, because we don't want to push this too much. See, we want to make sure it stays on the plate. If you push it up too much, it gets to the edge where it doesn't die cut as much, because it's got that little bit of a bevel. So you want to kind of keep your dies, you know, towards the center of your machine. All right, let me get another little piece. And I just grabbed this off of Amazon. It's just It's just sticky enough. All right, you still want to be careful when you peel it off, but it's just sticky enough. All right. So then we're going to run it through and cut, cut, cut. And then I just bring them back and peel them off. And we're going to do this a couple more times. So let me know. Say, oh, I like when you show the machine, or tell me, you know, we like you to do that part ahead of time. Some people like to see it because then it also helps them kind of figure how long a card or a project is going to have them, is going to take them to make. So if I do too many things ahead of time, then it's hard for you to go, oh, it took 5 minutes to make the card. But if I do the things ahead of time, then you go, oh, that's only going to take, you know, a minute to make that card. And then when you repeat the card, you might be going, oh, that took, you know, longer because, you know, because of the die cutting. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do? Hold on a second. I need to do the little, all right, so we want our basic gray. I just realized I didn't do my, and then when I forget things, then it takes even longer. All right, so let me get a piece of white. I'm gonna get a piece of white. I'm just gonna move this over here for a second because I need to do my cute little pot, my flower pot. Okay, so that's gonna be the stamp off one. All right, so this is a solid one. So this is basic gray. And this is a stamp off one. I'm just going to do it over here because my grid sheet is over there. All right, so there we have our pot. So I totally forgot. We need a pot. Okay. Because now we can cut our pot at the same time as our flower. And bring our pot over. I love this set. Oh my gosh. Now we have a pot before. Remember we had the cute, oh, Diana, my mind. The boots. Remember we had the cute little boots? And it had a fun little pot in it. So I'm kind of glad we've got another pot. All right, let me get this on here. And this is a two-step stamping. And if I'm not mistaken, when we had the rain boots, remember it was called rain boots? That one you could color in. So this one is great if you are kind of a person that doesn't like to color, because believe it or not, there are some people that don't like to sit and color for days. All right. Now this tape you can use several times, so usually I just kind of stick it around on the machine. All right, so I'm getting those little bits out because what's cool is when you cut out this die, see all these little pieces? It cuts those out. Could you imagine having to cut that out with your scissors? No, thank you. All right, so we're going to do this one as well, and I believe this is the last one. And you're going, thank you, thank you. So totally let me know, because I don't mind die cutting, because maybe you've never used the machine. Maybe you're like, well, I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to use it. Oop, and I just dropped something on the floor. All right. I just dropped a die on the floor. It was right there on my keyboard. All right. Let's see, let's see. Let's put this away for now. Be quiet, be quiet. Okay. I need a bigger workspace for the camera, but then I'm too high up and then you can't see. So it's like a catch-22, right? Okay, so let's put our card together. We have all our pretty little pieces. And Get those dies so they don't fall on the floor. All right, so we also want to do a little bit of stamping on here as well. So let me bring my grid sheet back over. I'll just turn it upside down so I don't get any, because sometimes like if you stamp over, so see where I have this stamped off, sometimes if you stamp on this, it can also have a little bit of residual ink when you, say if because right now I'm going to take this image here and I'm going to stamp it around on my mint macaron with the old olive, just to put a little bit of design on here. And if I stamp off here, this wet ink touching this can sometimes kind of reactivate this and it will get some red on here. So I'm going to just turn this over so that I have like a cleaner spot. All right, so we're just going to take our solid and we're just going to stamp a few times. So I'm going to stamp off as well. Since I am stamping off on a full piece of paper, I can go right over here and stamp off. If you, let me show you, if you come over here and stamp, but I'm half on and half off, then you need to re-ink it. Because if I go to get that second generation, you'll get this. Because see, now it's light here and dark here because it was off of the card. So you want to make sure if you stamp off that you are fully on the card if you're going to use the main card for the stamping off. So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully by showing you what that does. And you can kind of see it on the stamp too, right? You can see that line just where it hit the edge of the cardstock. All right, so let's see here. I also want to put a little something on the inside so that my inside of my card is not naked. I don't know what Stampin' Up! Did to the inside of their card, but I'm going to put a little something something on the inside of mine. And you might as well while you have the stamp set out. All right. Stamp off and on. So again, I do the solid or the detailed one first, and it's so much easier to see the solid through to line them up. And if it doesn't line up perfectly, I don't worry too much when it comes to flowers, because nature is not perfect, so I don't want you to feel like you have to be perfect either. Okay, so on the inside, I'm going to stamp. And I don't know if this is the one, because you know I always do one ahead of time. I don't know if this is what I did to that one or not. All right, now we're going to stamp off. So I'm going to go solid, and I'm going to stamp one more time. So it's going to be a little bit different each time. And since I stamped it all the way on the paper, I didn't have to re-ink it. So now you've got, these are a little bit lighter than these ones. All right. Now, let's see, I have my reaching out is my greeting. So the inside, I want it to say this. All right, so our reaching out, let me stick, let's do this first. All right, so this is going to be in the inside with our greeting, or with our pretty little flower. I love this stamp set has such pretty fonts as well, and you know me, I like printing and writing, so this stamp set gives you that. All right, we also want, this is for the front, and we're just going to fussy cut this with scissors. Okay, now we can put our card together. Let me check my fingers. I swear, I usually get ink on my hands. That means you're having fun, I always say. Okay, so let's bring our card over. Now this right here is on the card. It's the same width as the card. So I'm going to put it on with dimension or glue dots, only because it is mint macaron with mint macaron. It's just color on color, tone on tone. Even though you've got this has got some stamping on it, it's still the same color. So I want to put some dimensions on there so it sticks out just a tad, so that you can kind of see that shadow of the other card on top of it. Or you might as well not even have done another layer. Okay, we also want our pot. So we're going to put the flowers and stuff on the card with dimensionals. I'm going to put my dimensionals towards the bottom so that we can stuff our flowers inside. We can always add more later, but I just want to get my pot on the card, and it's down a little bit, so it's a little loose here, but this is going to allow me to put our flowers inside. All right, so we have our pretty geraniums. So I had so much fun with the twist for this card. I don't know why I had not got out my geranium set before now. Okay, so that's inside there. Then we have our, oh, I don't know, I did 3, I only need 2. Probably because I did 3 for the twist. That was one of the differences. So in my mind, I was thinking 3. All right, now I'll have 1 for another card, all ready to go. All right, then we're going to stuff these behind here. So this goes back behind there. This goes back behind there. And over this. So I'm just making sure it stays within the card so you can get it in the envelope. And then our cute little stick, like that. Now if this is a little loose, now you just take your pick tool, because now we have stuffed our pot so we know where the flower's going. So then I'm just going to pick that up with the pick tool and stick it right underneath there. And let's see how that one is. Same thing. So I'll just peel the back off, because when you take it off of here, you know, there's no backing, and it just lets me stick that underneath there. So now it's good. We also have this cute little greeting. Oh, you know what? I stamped it on the back of that. Let me re-stamp it. I'm sorry. Just because we are popping it off. So I'm a big person to reuse things, but we are popping it off. So it would show, it would be able to, you would see that little bit of a darker spot underneath there, because you can kind, I know we have two-sided paper, but when the light gets underneath it, you can see that pot. So I don't want to be able to see that there's something under there. So I apologize for having to re-stamp that. Okay. I also need to re-ink my old olive as well. All right. And we've got cut, 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 reaching out. With friendship and caring. And again, I love printing and writing. And I like this font. It's, I don't know what the font is, but it's super cute. All right, let me cut this. And I just kept them straight because that's how the catalog did. Let me stick this inside. We're also using the In Color Matte Decorative Dots as well. So that goes in here. So I'm going to stick this on here. So we're going to take our baby glue dots and I'm going to put them on the card so that I don't put them too far over on my greeting and then they're in here and then it would be kind of crooked. So I'm going to put them on my card instead. All right. So then that goes there. So we're reaching out with friendship and caring. And the same thing, if this is too wobbly, but it looks good. All right, so where are my matte dots? Right here. So you can see I use these a lot. So I have a lot of loose matte dots lying around. All right, because this pack was a little different than I have ever seen, and each section was on their own little acetate. So that was kind of cool. So I take them out and use them where I need to. All right, so let's see here. So we're going to put dot. We have big ones and little ones. 1, 2, 3. Come on, baby. Oh my. He's being temperamental. He's like, you're only doing a live. I'm not going to behave. Oh, no wonder my stuff is getting loose. My picker up stuff is getting loose. All right, I need to squeeze it and fish some more, get some more to come out of there. Okay, so there is the first card. I love it. All right, so I'm just going to clean up a little bit of this mess and then we're going to go to my twist card. So hold on a second. Okay, now for the twist. Oh my gosh. All right, so I am going to totally switch it out and we are going to not make a card. We're going to make a bag. And these are the cute little embossed treat bags. And you get 10 to a pack. They are adorable. And I thought, you know what? We're coming along gift giving season. You know, we've got Thanksgiving coming up. We have Christmas. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a little bag instead of a card. So what did I use? All right, so I'm also going to use the iridescent rhinestones instead. I did keep with the, I'm still using the mint macaron, but I wanted to add a little bit of texture to it. So I grabbed the elegant eucalyptus, and this is, I have B because it's a 2-piecer. And I loved having a little bit of texture on that mint macaron. So that's different. So that's going to go on our bag. So let's put it on the bag. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, where's my green tip glue? Here we go. So we're going to put our green tip glue and we're just going to put this on the bag. And then we're going to build our scene on our bag. So I'm just putting the green tip glue on the bag, or on the mint macaron. And it goes right on the bottom of the bag. And then we'll just trim our edges. But I want it to dry good. So that's why I wanted to get that on there first. So that it can be sitting and drying. All right, then I'll just set it aside and then we can do some of our stamping. Now what I also did was I changed some of the colors because I wanted to use some different color inks and I didn't want to do the stamping off part of it. I just wanted to use multiple inks. All right, so we are going to, so now I have more ink pads. So we're still using Old Olive, but this time, excuse my arm, I'm going to use mint macaron with it because that is the cardstock color that we have. So we still want our old olive for our detailed leaves. But the solid is going to be in mint macaron. So then you're going to have two different greens on your leaves. So you can see right through there. So now your leaves have a totally different look because you've used two different greens. Okay. Then let's see what else I got here. I also, I changed my pot. I was trying to think what all I did. I changed my pot. So I did Calypso Coral. I'm like, don't want that bag to get dirty. And Cajun Craze. Because I wanted my pot to be kind of like a terracotta pot instead. All right, so we need this and this. So the lighter one is the Calypso. So we have Calypso. And I'm going to stamp it twice. And then the darker is the Cajun Craze. And then I'm going to try to line that up with the camera right in front of my head. All right. It's a little hard with the camera right there. Okay, so we have our pot. So they look a little different. Now, of course, when you cut them out, they'll look better. All right. So we have that. I also changed the colors of my geraniums. So we are choosing Gorgeous Grape and Fresh Freesia. So we want the solid flower to be the Fresh Freesia, the lighter color, and then the darker or the more detailed will be the Gorgeous Grape. So one. So this is where I did the 3, 2, and 3, and then our Fresh Freesia. Right over top. Okay. We also need our stick. So I did my stick the same color. Let me get my basic gray from my stack of ink pads. So we're going to still do our stick with the basic gray. But this time, there are some little tiny images that go in the stick. So I'm going to go just for you so that my stick actually has a saying on it. So we'll set those aside. We have to die cut those out, but I already did them ahead of time. All right, now we also in that die has this really pretty stitched it's like, to me, it reminds me like of a label you'd put on a pot, like a fancy pot label. So we're going to stamp our, so I'm making this be a birthday bag. So it just says, birthdays are reminders that life should be celebrated. So that's a pretty saying too. All right, so I'm just going to Gorgeous Grape right on that. And that is all the stamping. So let me quickly close my ink pads. Sorry for the noise. And then I check my fingers, because nothing's worse than making all this beautiful stuff and then your fingers are dirty. All right, so it looks good. So now let's bring our bag over and we're going to trim our mint macaron. So I'm just using the side of the bag as my guide for my scissors because we don't want that hanging out. So just trim, trim, trim. All right, very good. Now, I did do my die cutting ahead of time. So here's all my pieces. And this is why I did, so here's these little things. Remember I said they pop out? So sometimes you just have to give them a little help. All right, so remember I did the pot twice, and that's because there is another die that gives you the, whatchamacallit, the top of the pot, so that you would get that dimension to it. So I wanted to give my pot a little bit more dimension because it's on a bag. So I want it to stand out a little more. So I'm just using dimensionals so that it really stands out. And then we simply just glue it to the top of the pot. And it lines right up. And now your pot has that 3D look to it, like a pot would. Right. Then let's put our birthday greeting on first, because I want to put my birthday on here, and then we can put the pot on after. If I get my pot on there first and I put it in the wrong spot, then maybe I wouldn't have room to put my birthday, my little frame birthday. So I want to make sure I get that on there first, because we can move the pot. So we don't want to cut off any of our birthday greeting. All right, so that's just going to go here. So these are great little bags to just make and have sit around. All right, so I'm going to put these on like I did before with the dimensionals. So again, we're just going to put them on the bottom so that we can get the pot on the bag. And then we can add our more dimensions later. We just want it to be on the bag so it's not all loosey-goosey while we're putting our stuff in. All right, so we also have our leaves, and I'm just kind of putting the dimensionals down here a little bit so that I can do a little bit of sticking behind it. All right. Now this time I'm going to put this in, but I want to put it in kind of crooked so that I want this leaf to hang over the pot. And we will worry about dimensionals after. We just kind of getting our plants in. We also, oh, so I already did this, so I need to, just real quick, stamp my just for you. Hold on a second. I forgot I had die cutted that out. So just for you. So I love that it's photopolymer. We can see through. So we have our little stick. Now I have 3 flowers. So remember I said I did 3 for this one. So this flower, this plant is going to be a little bit more full than the one on the card because it is on a bag. So we can add more dimension. We can have it really be sticking out. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm putting my dimensionals towards the center. So if I overlap the edges, they're not getting in the way of that. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to take this one, and I want to put it up here because I want this to look like it's growing out of these things, out of those, whatever those are on a plant. All right. Then this is going to come over here, and let's see, do I have, oh, see, I have a little dimensional back, so hang on, not a biggie. We're going to roll it off. See, just roll it, roll, roll, and pull, and it's gone. And this is going to go back in here. So same thing. So roll, you just roll them off. Don't pick them off, because then you can sometimes tear the paper. You just want to roll it off. All right, And then this is going to go back here. Stick this back into there like that. And then we want our just for you. So that's going to go in here just for you. And then we can see that we need to add a little bit more of the dimensionals. So that is why I get the flower pot on there first, peel off the back, just like we did for the card, pick up that dimensional, and we can stick it behind here. We just kind of, you know, touch it a little bit and see where you need to put, because that one that I had to move just had to be closer to the edge of the bag. So just keep in mind when you're doing that. So just kind of like, you know, just don't yank on them, just kind of go like this, right? And you'll see if it's too loose, but that looks good. I'll put one behind this pot. And what's fun about doing the bag, where it doesn't have to go in a card, like it doesn't have to go in an envelope, so it can go off of the bag. So look how beautiful this looks. It draws your eyes like totally around the bag because it's going off of the bag. So I love that. I also want to get our bling bling. I'm also going to add a little ribbon, and this is the Fresh Freesia Open Weave, so we're going to put some ribbon on our bag too. So let's get our embellishments first. So we can go to town with the embellishments, because again, this is a bag. It's not going in an envelope. So we can bling it. We can make it stick out of the card. We can go to town on it, because whoever is getting this, you totally love them so much. And they're going to doubly love you. 2, 4, 6, and 7. Remember, odd numbers are better than even. All right, so let's put those. Now let's bring our ribbon over. And I'm just going to cut myself probably too much, but that's okay. All right, because I don't mind a little bit of length on a bag. So let's take our bag, let's stick our hand in there and open up our bag. You could stick all whatever you're going to put in there. Oh, it's just beautiful. All right, now let's take our ribbon, and I'm going to fold it in half and stick it up in here, and then go like, bring my tail through that, like that. All right, so now that's hooked on the bag, and then I'm just going to tie a bow. And then just fiddle fart with your tails. And I don't mind if they're long. I would rather them have them be long right now, so that when you do put your present in there, and you want to retie it, you still have, you know, some tie to it. And I don't mind that they're long. It looks super fun. So anyways, all right, so let me move this mess. Let's show the catalog version. So here's the catalog version, and I need to stamp my envelope still. And my twist version. Now, if you wanted to do, like, this would make a great card and a gift, right? And if you did, then I would make the flowers be the same. So if this was going to be the card that went with this, I would make my greetings be the same color. I would make my flowers be the same color. That is just me. Or you could mix and match. You could put some of these. So here's that extra one I did. So say you have your geraniums be multicolor, then it would go with this one, right? It would like tie them in together. So it's totally up to you. And I might end up putting this one on top here since I cut it out. So I might add that. But I wanted to keep it, I like the catalog. So Mimeograph Monday catalog version with a twist. So this is my twist on it. So let me spin the phone so I can say see you later, alligator. Sorry about that. So so let me know which one you like. I like them both. I love, love, love. I'm going to make many more of these bags. And what's nice is they do store flat, so you can have them ready to go. What I would probably do is I would cut out this little shape. I would cut that little shape out, and I just drop it in the bag empty. I wouldn't stamp on it. And that way the bag's all ready to go just for you. You can stamp that because that doesn't say a certain theme or whatever. But when you realize, oh my gosh, I have this cute little present and it's so-and-so's birthday, or she's not feeling well, or she graduated from school, whatever the reason, then you can pull that little empty tag out of the bag, stamp your greeting, and then pop it on the card. Just make sure that when you're putting your pot on here that you give room for this. So you might just lay it naked, just kind of like lay it on your card if you, or your bag if you're going to do that, so that you make sure you put your pot in the right place, and then then you'll be fine. But I love how it turned out. Like I said, I'm going to make a bunch of those because it's a pretty bag. So if you don't have those embossed treat bags, is that what they're called, treat bags? Yeah, embossed treat bags. Maybe pick you up, a pack or 2 or 10, and have them all ready to go. So maybe you'll have, oh, it would be cute. Why don't we make one with orange flowers, and then if you have trick-or-treaters come to your house, maybe the kids get your little candy treat, and then maybe the mom's with the kids, and you could give the mom a little pretty bag like that with like orange flowers, and then maybe just have a little chocolate in there for the mom. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, so I'm going to stop blabbing. I will see you tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays, episode 146, 3 o'clock, Arizona time, same channel. Don't forget, free shipping is tomorrow, but you have to order $75 before tax and shipping for that free shipping to turn on. If you need me to place your order, get your order to me today, the 3rd, so that I can be all ready for you tomorrow, the 4th, because because tomorrow's going to be busy. I'm sure the computers will be busy, and so yeah, so I don't want you to miss out. Otherwise, just go to my my online store and place your own order right first thing in the morning, and you'll be good. You'll be good to go. So I think that's all I want to blab about today. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye for now.